Marlon Wayans is an actor, producer, comedian. You're a writer. And of course, you're doing your stand-up comedy. You're selling out nationwide. And you're going to be in Philadelphia on Friday,
Yes,
April
ma'am.
15th. So that's going to
Yes,
be
ma'am.
cool at Live Casino in Philadelphia.
Yes. I like
So,
live. Good
yes.
times. I've always
Yeah.
done well there. Great crowds, great listeners.
Right.
Yeah, I really, really enjoy Philly audience.
With Philly, what do you like about Philly when you go there?
Um, I just feel like the audiences is very much like New Yorkers, it's just like New Yorkers, but like Bostonians, I think we're all people with a lot of attitude. We're very opinionated and very strong-willed. And so that's why we don't get along because we're the same person in different climates.
Okay. So when you do the performance in Philly, what can fans expect?
I'm expected. I like to, kind of keep it free. I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm going to go, but I always leave room for some improv or something to happen in the moment. They can expect to laugh and they can expect to learn. It's a great. I make sure that you get a lot of laughs per second.
Yeah.
And then after you kind of, I hurt you, I make you listen.
Okay. A lot of times when you do a comedy special, that material is only for that. Then you do all new stuff the next time around. So if people don't see this particular show, are they going to really miss out? Are they going to
They'll
ever?
miss out. They'll miss out on the live version of this show. I don't. My thing is, I try not to. Every year I do a special so that I retire the material and I never say it again. So every time you see me, it's an authentic experience.
Yeah. No, that's great. And I think it's cool. It makes people want to come see you and see the new material. And I was listening to
Yeah,
some of your older interviews and you were talking about how, you also like to perform. You're a performer, but then when you're doing the stand-up, you don't even mind now just to kind of just
shit in
be.
the pocket.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
That's
don't need to. I've learned that I don't need to do the physical stuff as much as I used to. Now I can just sit there and be a storyteller. I think every great comedian grows into a great communicator. And
yeah.
that's what I try to be, a great communicator and a great philosopher and throw some jokes inside of that. I wrap it in something different than just something physical and crazy. I'm older now. I have to, not older, but I'm
Yeah.
more settled. I'm more grounded. So, I
Yeah.
understand I could sit down and tell you jokes.
Yeah. And we all want to see that. And we want to enjoy it also, which
Yeah.
so you had a comedy special, Good Grief, that came out on Amazon Prime and it was number
Yes.
one that first week.
Yes.
That was in June.
Yes.
That's cool. And then what about now? You and your brother are now writing and producing Scary Movie film.
Scary Movie 6, me and Sean Keenan, we're coming back to the franchise and we're gonna
Damn,
make
that's so
it a
cool.
classic.
Yeah, I know it will be.
It needs it. We watched 3, 4, and 5 the other day, and we was like, "What the hell? What they do to our baby?"
I know, I know. It's a good thing you're coming back and redoing it. Is there anything you could tell us about it? Any type
Nope,
of
nope. Stop trying to
Really?
get free stuff. Nope. You have to
Not
wait
even
to
for
see it.
me?
Nope. You have to wait to see it like everybody else. We're still crafting it, so I think we know what we're doing. So I don't want to give nothing away. I'll wait until we drop that trailer.
Okay. When will that come
It's,
out, do you think?
it's coming out June next year, summer
Okay.
next year. Yeah. So
Awesome.
we should be filming it by summertime this year.
And now you're in another movie. It's a psychological horror called Him. That's coming out in September this year. So,
Yes, Marlon's busy.
okay, what can fans expect with that?
That one is definitely a turn for me. It's a psychological horror thriller, and it's produced by Jordan Peele's Monkey Paw Production, directed by a really great young director, Justin Tipping. And I think people can expect to be wild. I mean, I think it's to me. I feel like I haven't seen it yet. But I think I left my best performance, dramatic performance, right on that stage. So hopefully, all that's in the movie. But I hear great things.
Awesome. That was actually my next question was, what's the most challenging role you've ever played? Do you
White
think
Chicks.
White Chicks?
Actually, no, White Chicks was hard, but because of the heels. I think Sextuplets was probably the hardest because I played,
So many
uh,
characters.
yeah, man, 7 characters in one movie, and I didn't get no sleep because of the makeup and having to do that, and then work 18-hour, 20-hour days every day was just a lot.
Yeah, how do you prepare for a role like that? If you're playing six different characters, how do you compartmentalize and then prepare?
I'm just a crazy man. I don't know how I do it. I just do it. You do it so long that it just becomes second nature, right? I'm at this point where everything is second nature. I do my work, I do my research, I make sure every character has an animal or a different way of walking and talking, the physical, and I imagine all that, then I just execute.
Wow. Yeah, and even with white chicks, I guess there's no sequel because you don't want to do that makeup.
Not yet, but AI is coming along, and I think White Chicks would be to me that's a $1 billion movie, White Chicks
Yeah.
too. So I'm gonna wait until we do Scary Movie 6, and then I'll entertain White Chicks too.
Yeah,
But
people.
till then, no, we're not doing it. Everybody's like, "You're doing White Chicks." I'm not doing it. Relax.
Okay, yeah, because and of course, I'm wearing my In Living Color shirt because I always wanted to be a fly girl
Oh
and
wow, damn.
hey.
There you go.
But any chance In Living Color could come back at some point?
I don't know. At this point, I mean, once we got Scary Movie done, we realized that we left a lot of great properties behind, and who knows, maybe one day we'll see.
Or a reunion would be cool.
Yeah, one day we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't like to make promises I can't keep. That's why I haven't been married yet.
Yeah. What's up with that? What's up with your love life? You have anything going?
No, ma'am. I just, just trying to figure it out day by day.
Ah, okay. Well, I'm sure you have a lot of suitors out there. Uh, you're like, I hope so. So I want to know about like some behind the scenes. Like, can you think of one time that you just couldn't stop laughing on the set and that it affected filming?
Every time we film something, my whole goal is to make the whole set laugh and make everybody hold it in because we don't like to ruin it and ruin takes. So I don't like when people laugh. When I'm doing it, I like them to hold it, but I want to make them laugh. And I think White Chicks was a great example because there was a scene in the bodega where my brother Shawn had to bite down on his cigar because I was doing something so crazy that it made him laugh.
And then what about for comedic inspiration? Like who inspired you growing up?
I was blessed to grow up in a house with legends. So I didn't have to go outside my household to find my heroes. My brothers, Keenan and Damon, you know, for me and Sean were everything. And my sister Kim was just already such a brilliant, gifted performer and writer. So, everybody in my household, but outside of my household, Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy,
Yeah.
Charlie Chaplin, I'm a fan of comedy in general.
Hmm. Oh, that's great. Anybody current now besides your family?
I love Dave Chappelle. I think Dave is really funny. He's a good friend, and he always makes me laugh. And yeah, I love Dave.
What about like besides your family? Is there anybody that you ever wanted to collaborate with on a movie?
I would love to have done a movie with like Jim Carrey. I used to really want to work with Robin Williams. I love to work in a two-fisted with Eddie Murphy. I already worked with Eddie on Norbit, but I had a small part in that. But I would really love to I would love to do like a movie with me and him. I just think that would be great. You know, um, you know, I think me and Kevin Hart would do something great together. I'm open. I love to work with Tom Hanks again. I worked with him on Lady Killer, but I would love to work with him in tandem. But really, God's gonna do what God got to do. Whoever God wants me to work with, that's who I'm gonna work with. I got a buddy action comedy that I'm gonna film. Hopefully after I do Scary Movie 6 with Kiki Palmer, and it's
Ooh,
a romantic buddy action comedy that I wrote with Rick Alvarez. So I'm
that's cool.
about to be
She's
busy.
so talented. She's
She's
great.
talented. She's funny. She's sweet. She's pretty. It's gonna be a
Yeah.
good time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I appreciate you doing this interview, and we're
Well,
excited
thank
to
you.
have you in Philly at Live Casino on April 18th. Is there anything else that you would love to tell your fans?
Just come on out, come on and laugh, and let's see a part of history, man. Here's the thing is, I'm 52, so I probably got another 40 years left. How many times you gonna see Marlon Wayans live? Come see me before
So,
them 40 years is gone.